My name is Cheryl, and my family, I have a daughter, Sasha. Steve and I adopted her from Moscow, Russia, when she was 9 months old. And 6 months after we got Sasha back, my husband, Steve, passed away. This was devastating to me. I had a 9-month-old baby, and from preschool to 7th grade, she made straight A's. Well, then all of a sudden, 8th grade, I'm seeing some changes. Unfortunately, I find out she's on drugs and alcohol, flunking school, doesn't care about anything. The consequence was if she wasn't passing one class, she would lose her cell phone.
I wasn't supposed to have a phone, but I had a phone, and my mom knew I had a phone. She was like, you're not leaving without you giving me this phone. So we got into like a physical fight about it.
She started hitting me. She got me down to the ground. I had never seen her like this. I mean, this is a worst nightmare for a parent.
When we first make contact with families, they're in crisis. When we initially meet a family, we have a case plan that kind of details point A, which is where we are in life today. This is how we function. This is how we're doing in school. This is what my relationships look like. And point B, how we would like for things to be. What do things look like when they're good and when they're even better in my life?
I was blessed to make that last phone call. At 10:30, I got a real person on the other line. Sam goes, "Can I come by and tell you what services we have?" I mean, my prayers had been answered. I just was grabbing at anything to help my daughter, to help me, to save my daughter, to save me, and to save my family. They wrapped around us. She goes to a teen group to talk with her peers, which is really important at age 17. And you know, one really neat thing, Kansas Children's Service League offered a parent support group. They also thought about helping me.
I just wanted to get along with my mom. It makes you sit there and think when you're in a meeting with Sam or you're in a meeting with your case manager and they'll put you on the spot, be like, why are you doing the stuff that you're doing, and you don't know. It just helps you realize that what you're doing is not what you're supposed to be doing.
I closed Sasha's case and moved her into aftercare in May of this year.
I wouldn't be like where I'm at today if it wasn't for KCSL or Samantha. I think it just means a lot that there's people out there that want to help you.
This is all because of Kansas Children's Service League. The resources that you gave me, and you opened up the door to have and keep my family.
Between the ages of 12 and 15, I got into a lot of trouble. I joined a gang. I was doing all the stuff that comes with that.
Before I met Adon, I was living with my grandparents, just kind of working paycheck to paycheck. We moved in together, and in the neighborhood we lived in when we had our son, it really wasn't the greatest neighborhood. There was a lot of stuff going on. Tires were slashed all the time, and cars were getting broken into all the time. We ran on, some hard times. We got robbed. So that set us back quite a bit. Not too long after that, we got pregnant unexpectedly. And at that point, we really didn't know what we were supposed to do. For me, it was my first, his second, and searching for help, we came across the KCSL. From then on, it was nothing but help. They came out and gave us resources that we could use to find help ourselves instead of just saying, here, take this. It's not a handout, it's a hand up.
I really wanted to become a better father and a better husband, just a better man in general. I realized that I couldn't do it on my own.
One of the goals we set was to get Azriela into pre-K. Through KCSL, they kept on us like, no, okay, well, have you made the phone calls? Okay, well, you got this one done. Okay, now have you sent this off so you can get this back? Have you gotten immunizations and things like that? And through all that pushing, we finally got her in. She got into pre-K, which was awesome.
Some of the information that we got from KCSL was windows of opportunities that our children have to learn that I was not aware of. That really helped us as far as having my first kid and not having some of those things, and then having our second child and having all this help. It was through KCSL that we were able to stand on our 2 feet. The 2 things I think that I would be most thankful for is the help that we received so that we could get married. And then the other one would have to be helping us in a way that didn't enable us, but empowered us. Handing people a bunch of stuff doesn't help anybody. Teaching them how to live, guiding them through life, helping them find security and confidence in themselves to do these things are what are going to build families and communities.
KCSL was an answered prayer. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be where we are now. The program as a whole and the people, they really have a heart for what they're doing, and I think that is really what makes KCSL so important. They're just so genuine, and you can feel it.
I'm Theresa Scott.
And I'm Joseph Scott. We have twin girls that are 7 years old, and they were born 32 weeks. We have a son, Gilbert, who's 4, and we just adopted a daughter, Kay-Ann, who is also 4.
I have known all my life that I wanted to adopt. At the mall, I'd always see these very large photographs from Kansas Children's Service League, Adopt Kansas Kids, and I then began to do the research to find out what it takes and how to adopt. Kansas Children's Service League was doing the MAP classes to educate foster families and adopted families about the process of adoption and foster care. Joe and I had a family conversation in regards of Kay-Ann's medical situation, as well as other things that we needed to discuss. And then we decided that we would talk to our kids. And we showed our kids a picture of Kay-Ann. And then about a few months later, we finally got to meet her. And we drove down to Wichita, and we've only got to see 2 photos of Kay-Ann. We never got a picture of foster mom, so we didn't know who we were meeting. But when we saw Kay-Ann get out of the car, it kind of bounced back to whenever you actually have your child, you fall in love the moment you see your child.
You're gonna make me cry.
You see her, and you fall in love with her. And you don't think that when you have a child that's not your blood child, and you question yourself whether you are going to have that same love, and in the moment that you see the child, you realize that child's going to be yours. And it's the same love. We had a phone call with Kay-Ann's foster mom before we met to get an idea about Kay-Ann's medical needs.
She was born at 25 weeks, and so she was extremely premature and underdeveloped. She's 4, so she acted like a 4-year-old. She's very smart and knows what's going on, and so she helped us out.
With her vocal cords being paralyzed, she may or may not be able to communicate the way a verbal children would. With me being legally deaf, I have known sign language most of my life, but I've also grew up in a hearing society, so I had a lot of encouragement to speak and use my words. So with Kay-Ann, we were able to teach her the basic baby signs and to encourage her to use it. I think that if we didn't have our 3, we wouldn't be able to stand where we stand today.
She fit like she was always there, and the kids absolutely love her, and we love her. We're happy that she's in our home, and we're grateful to have her in our home.
Need to find a place, guide us with your grace, give us faith somewhere